Just a couple of days ago, Steve King gave an interview with the New York Times where he asked what all the fuss was about white supremacy. When did that become offensive, he wanted to know. And the media largely ignored it. They didn't really seem to care that a sitting congressman was defending the concept of white supremacy as being non-offensive in some way. And they largely didn't talk about it, and we've covered that previously. But now, thanks to some outspoken politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and others, we have consequences in terms of people denouncing him, which I don't really care about, and actual consequences, which I do. So let's start with those. King was actually removed from all of his committee assignments, which is sort of a big deal in the House. King had been a member of a number of House committees, including the House Agriculture Committee and the House Judiciary Committee, where he served as the chair of the subcommittee on the Constitution and Civil Justice, which, let's just pause for 1 second. How was that the case even before that quote? What is it, like the subcommittee of irony? That he's the civil justice guy? The we can't save our civilization with other people's babies guy? The I will go out of my way to promote politicians in Canada and Europe only because they are ultra nationalist? Nobody else even knows who they are, but I'm in favor of them. He was the civil justice guy? Man, our country is really something, but he has been stripped of those. And for a congressperson, especially someone in the minority, that now means he's sort of still in Congress, I guess. I mean, he's influential, he can vote and stuff. But in terms of pushing for legislation, he doesn't really have much of a say on legislation until the final vote, and now they're in the minority, so that doesn't even really matter. So that's a pretty big change. That was the members of the Republican Steering Committee who voted unanimously to do that. Now, assuming they don't immediately backtrack and let him back on, or wait 3 weeks and then do it, that is bold, I would say. That's a big change. They didn't force him out of the House entirely, but they constrained him quite a bit. That's a bit of a kneecapping. So some people very, very happy about this. Of course, as we said previously, AOC had been pushing for some sorts of consequences. She said, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. King's district should start working to replace him in 2020. Regardless of party, it's not good for a district if their rep has such reprehensible views that they aren't allowed to touch legislation with a 10-foot pole. And he is indeed already likely to be primaried. There's a person who's already talking about primarying him in this next election. Others are coming out of the woodworks to finally attack him. Mitt Romney wants him to step down. Bold move from Mitt Romney. Now it's something because he was one of the early ones, so I'll give him that and nothing else. But even Mitch McConnell says, I have no tolerance for such positions, and those who espouse these views are not supporters of American ideals and freedoms. Now, let me go back to supporting Donald Trump. Okay, so I guess not some consistency really, but he did actually speak out against Steve King, and that's good. I mean, there's competition amongst Democrats to get a censure resolution forward. Jim Clyburn is gonna offer his own resolution of disapproval. In terms of the House, this is actually quite a bit of action and is good to see. Now, he has responded and defended himself saying, Leader McCarthy's decision to remove me from committees is a political decision that ignores the truth. Clearly, I was only referencing Western civilization classes. No one ever sat in a class listening to the merits of white nationalism and white supremacy. When I used the word that, it was in reference only to Western civilization and not to any previously stated evil ideology, all of which I have denounced. I get what he's saying. I would say that if you were only referencing one thing rather than all three, I would have made that clear in the first 4 days after it became a big issue. It's weird to wait until this final point. And again, we already know who this person is from so many different words and actions in this area. It makes his apology a little bit harder to swallow. Now we have to continue to see if he's eventually re-elevated to his same position. We also will have to watch to see as the primary goes on, but so far this is actually surprising action from the Republicans in the House. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.